Alright, live. So, hello there, everyone. It's just Fuzzy for now, bringing some elds. Quick disclaimer, I am playing in offline mode, of course, and I will not be doing any sort of multiplayer content, and as a result, I feel comfortable just cheating my way through Elden Ring. Because, let's be honest here. There's, your speedrunners and your regular players of the game, and people who are good at the game, and people who are bad at the game. I'm definitely bad at the game, but, I feel like not that many people are just willing to comfortably cheat in this game. So that's what we're gonna do today. Isn't that great? Hi. Look at his glorious Poggy. Look at this glorious Poggy boy. For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, this is the beautiful Emile Pogdanoff. Don't worry about it. That's, basically all I can say. But yeah, let's check our stats here. So, here's the thing. I have maxed out the stats through the power of completely legitimate grinding, by which I mean cheat engine. Right? And that's the thing about this game. I've also, maxed out my weapons and stuff, but, that doesn't really make too much of a difference, right? That's the thing about Elden Ring, is that it doesn't really matter that much if you have, infinite flasks and all that nonsense. And the reason for that is that, what are you gonna do even if you do? Right? It's ultimately still a primarily skill-based game. So it doesn't matter that I've maxed out a bunch of stuff. Because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna die. A lot. It's not even a question. So, yeah, I'm, comfortable in saying that I do not feel any guilt over cheating in Elden Ring, because it doesn't make that much of a difference, right? Max stats doesn't make a difference if you can't dodge. Max stats doesn't make a difference if you can't, properly, memorize enemy patterns. Max stats is not gonna make a difference if all you do is try and brute force it, because this is not inherently not a game that can be easily brute forced, if at all. And that's why I suppose to a certain extent you could just say that I'm trying to justify things to myself. But I don't think it's that big a deal. Basically, the long and the short of it is, I am too bad to get good. And as a consequence of that, I will just, not do that and cheat my way through. So yeah, let's get going, shall we? I'm pretty confident it's not going to make too much of a difference, however I manage this. I also need to refamiliarize myself with the controls. Oh god, that's a massive FP bar. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's a bit overpowered in the early game. I will acknowledge that much. But I still maintain that eventually it's going to balance out. For example, didn't touch my spells. I didn't touch my memory stones. So I'm gonna still have to find everything manually. I also can't... I don't have any sacred tears. I did, however, just max my flask charges. Or rather, I will. How high does the flask charges go? God damn! Oh, okay, there we go. So let's allocate the charges. 7-7 seems good. Like, if I'm gonna be honest, 10-4 is probably best because I'm not gonna need. Well, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, it still heals the same amount. So yeah, it's kind of this is the whole thing now. So I was planning on trying my hand at the Tree Guardian and cheesing him. I still think that's not a completely unfeasible strategy if, like, he's still around. I don't even know, is the Tree Guardian still on patrol, or is that changed? So what is this? Oh, my lost runes were right here. It's not like I need them. Sorry, what was that noise? Oh, well, the Guardian is in fact there. So, I'm just gonna go back into the church where it's safe. Now, here's the thing. I need to find my Flask of Wondrous Physic. Where is it? Third Church of America, north of Mistwood. Cross the highway bridge and follow the animal trail north. Okay. Where that? Okay. Coastal Cave. Stormhill Everjail. Stormgate. Stormhill Shack. Mistwood. Not sure where that might be. Also, just real quick, I'm gonna... Apparently multiple monitor setup is not great for... the frame rate, so I'm just gonna turn it down to low. Okay, I'm now hitting 60. Well, just to make sure. Hello, Lucy Gaming. Welcome. We're cheating our way through Elden Ring, which you will soon find is not going to make too much of a difference. Let me actually give a demonstration for why cheating does not make a difference in this game. So if I just, like, go up to... Where is he? Where's the Tree Guardian at? Am I going in circles? I went in the wrong direction, didn't I? So yes, max stats don't help when you're bad at video games. Is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, there's Santa. Like, they absolutely knew what they were doing. So, let's go aggro this man. And, like, just shoot him with a bunch of arrows. Yeah, because that works. And if I just, like... Okay, so I'm doing a lot of damage. Which... great, but... Okay. So... Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss now. I kind of... Oh! Like, okay, I will admit... Okay, I died. That's fine. I will admit, in the early game, it does give you an advantage, right? The extra health gives you a buffer, and the extra damage helps out, so, like... And then a boss like the Tree Guardian is probably not going to be too much of a problem. Also, is it just me, or is this just, like, a lot easier than... Oh, okay. See, I would be dead by this point, right? That's the thing, is I wasn't cheating. But at the same time, I'm still not exactly in a position to win easily. Right? Like, I know I should be attacking... Oh, it's this cheat engine, Lucy Gaming. Like, well, you have to turn off the anti-cheat. It turns out all you need to do is, like, open the settings file and notepad and, like, change up a few numbers. Like, it's a quick Google search away to find the relevant form. Okay. I do kind of feel bad about this. Well, I said that, and then I died. to a single moment of inattention. But, like, I think I'm getting my point through, is, like, doesn't matter if you, like, do a lot of damage. If you get overwhelmed or if you get cocky, you're still gonna die. Right? Like, as a result of that, I feel much more comfortable just, like, calling my horse and hunting some goats. Right? Like, this is... I love this game because it's much more of a... It's like... I've been playing Dark Souls since DS1. I sadly cannot claim to be an early adopter of, like, Demon Souls, but since DS1, I've been trying, and, like, y'all remember Mega Mules? I still have no idea why they're called that, but it's just very funny to me that that's what they were called. And you just get a big old save file that has you maxed out and with like everything in the game. It still doesn't help, right? Like if you can't properly maneuver around Capra Demon, he's still gonna kill you. Like, that's the thing that I love about these games is after up to a certain point, it's like stats matter, but after that, it's I had runes and then I lost them all. But it's fine because I don't really have a need for runes. See, like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I also apologize for the frame drops. I'm doing a multi-monitor setup, and it turns out maybe one graphics card is not great for that, and Elden Ring is also not the best optimized on PC. But yeah, I don't really have a use for runes right now because I haven't really unlocked any of the more fancy shops. I actually have no idea how to unlock the magic shop, so I'm probably going to be stuck on 2 spells for a while. Okay, let's try and decipher this Staff of Wondrous. I'm not going to comment on it, but like, haha, it's the weed number. Let me see. Is this... Oh, that's equipment, not in... Wait, no, it's supposed to be... There we go. Okay. Where's the Church of America? Oh, is it the thing? Oh, I think I know. Is it... It's possibly... Is it this thing? Maybe? This seems vaguely church-like. Where am I? I'm all the way down here, huh? Oh, this entire thing is Limgrave. Or is it referring... Is this what it's referring to as a bridge? Well, for now, let's just place a marker there and, like, see what we do. Where is... I thought the marker showed up on the overworld. Maybe I've disabled that in the settings, or maybe that's just not available at this point in the game. But yeah, that looks like a vaguely church-like building, right? Like, big old statue of hooded man holding... Like, it definitely seems like a Michelangelo over there. This is a much more chill game than any... Oh, is that what you have to do? Thank you. That's a marker. Ah, I see. Oh, I'm going in the wrong direction. Well, whatever. Let's go into this direction. Maybe it's actually the Church of America over here, and I'm just like... It's a happy little accident. This is ominous. How do I get off the horse again? Oh, not... Oh, that's an automatic... This is terrifying. Is this where I came from? This is the start of the game. This may or may not be the start of the game. Whatever, let's just go. So yes, for those of you who are not aware, the name Pogdanoff for our beautiful protagonist is a reference. Just do a quick Google image search of the Bogdanoffs, and you will understand. Yeah, this is where I started from, huh? Haha. Well. Yeah, I like that this game is a lot more chill than basically any other Souls game thus far. Like, you could feasibly spend your entire time in this game just, like, hunting goats and not really lose too much. And, like... Aha! See, I was hunting goats. Like, I don't think I even need goats right now, but I just kind of wanna... You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just, like, you see a goat and you're just like, I'm gonna go shoot a magic spell at it. Also, I'm glad that this seems to have the mechanic where it allows you to, like, fall at... So, this is a funny little thing. Okay, so this is the beacon, this is not the... Is this not... Am I wrong? Is this not America? Oh, the... Orange, what's wrong? This... I don't know. This individual looks like America to me. Remove beacon. Why is the beacon still there? There we go. Okay. I'm not really... Like, I'm kind of happy with, just, stumbling my way through this game. Like, I very intentionally have not watched any playthroughs of this game. I kind of want to do this blind. I'm kind of just like, I know that the Flask of Wondrous physics is an important thing, because, you know, Vati told me, and, like, there's just, like, you can't not listen to Vati. He's just got the best voice. But... I'm not... I don't really feel too much of a need to just go for it. I'm happy just kind of wandering around and seeing what I find. You know what? As a penance in the early game, I'm just gonna use a shorts. That's probably gonna... Yeah, you know, I'm just gonna bash people with the staff as penance for my filthy cheating ways. Oh, that does even less damage than I thought. What if I shoot arrows? Oh, so it turns out aiming, you cannot... Haha! Gotcha! Mounted combat is a joy in this. Oh, you can in fact just quick shot. That makes things considerably easier, though it's fine, I guess. Ooh, what if we just follow this man? Hi. Don't notice me. I'm just a... Oh. Oh, he noticed me. Well, it's fine, I guess? Generally in open world games... Oh! Hello? What if I've forgotten how to get off the horse? All the controls to forget. Why that? Hi. Can you do a... Can you do a sneak attack with a bow? Apparently not! Oh, you know what? That's a great idea, now that I think about it. Let's do bone darts. Very sneaky-like. Great aim, Emile. Just... Did they not teach you to lead? Wow, dude! Oh, right, I forget. So, I think my most played game is definitely DS1. Comparatively, I didn't play as much of Bloodborne and DS3, so I kind of forgot that they added scaling to, like, throwing weapons and stuff. Like, they scale with your stats now. Back in my day, oh, I can't do the old man voice. I wish I could, but like, I sound too much like a 12-year-old to sound like an old man. Oh, you know what? This camp is the pain of my existence. So, what if I took a sword that is short and tried to like do a stealth, like Metal Gear Solid this? Why is my frame rate so bad? Huh. Very awkward. You know what? Let me try and do a quick little fix and see if that improves my frame rate at all. Let's pop out this window and then minimize that. Pop it out like that. Yes. Oh, that, you know, I feel like this probably also works. Just don't mind the display capture. This is not the easiest game to stream necessarily. Okay. So that's not working. How do I pop out chat in OBS? Ah, whatever, it'll be fine, I guess. It's not like I need a pristine frame rate to be to be not bad at this game. Hi. Oh god, like, I'm glad they've just kept the classic backstab sound. It's just, there's something about it. Sound design in general is great. Like, I sometimes want to just open up the title screen of this game and just, like, have that as the soundtrack to my life. Also, we must roll through pots, as is tradition. Note to self, jumping does in fact take you out of stealth. I wish I could tame these dogs, but it seems to not really be possible, which is upsetting to me. I don't like it when they make you kill dogs in games. I have a dog. He's like just sleeping on my bed right now, just like flopped all over the place, and it's just like, why would you want to murder that? That's like, no. You don't see me, Spearman. You did not see me. You do not see me. Now go away. Oh well, that would have come up. You know, and it's times like this where I'm glad I have a horse. Is that the Tree Guardian again? Please tell me that's not the freaking Tree Guardian again. Why is he ever... Wait a second, is there more than one Tree Guardian? Because that would be very awkward. No, it's just a dude. Lead the shot. Lead the shot. Lead the shot. Aha! Nope. Ah! Why would you chase me like this? Turns out mounted combat is a lot less unfair when your enemy can also combat you from a mount. Also, I'm kind of amazed that it's only been like it's like not been that long since release, and the speedrun is already down to sub 30. Though to be fair, a lot of the glitches they're using are probably going to be patched out at some point, and that's going to make the speedruns a lot more interesting, like from a pre and post patch perspective. Like, I'm wondering what the... Of course, that's the any percent. People still haven't really gotten the handle on the all bosses speedruns. I wouldn't actually be surprised if, like, there were still things in this game that have not been discovered by everyone yet. Right? Because it seems, right. SL3 to dismount. I'm practicing my aim on you, so just, like, chill, okay? Aha! A headshot. That's definitely a headshot. Are you guys well, you are hollows. It makes sense that you're a little bit blind. That was a headshot. I'm proud of that one. I miss, Onion Bro and his Estus suit. Is there an Onion Bro in this game? I hope there is. I'd be upset if there wasn't. Can I down for a meal? No, I just rolled through it, okay? Oh god, it's a dung beetle. Well, that was unexpected. Apparently dung beetles hold the ashes of fallen warriors. Isn't that exciting? Oh, turns out you run out of stamina quicker than you run out of FP when you use the bow skill. Do not aim down sights when there's a man charging you on a horse. Yeah, this track. Look how the equipment feels in this game. Let's see. Straight sword is always a straight sword. How do the great swords feel in this game? That's a surprisingly fast attack for a great sword of all things. How do you follow up on this? Oh, there you follow up. Alright, greatsword feels decent. Spear. This is an interesting thing I've noticed. It's kind of a great quality of life improvement that you don't drain stamina in combat. And finally, this is apparently something one of my friends swears by. That's much... So that's what the spin to win looks like. That is much less impactful than I'd expected. What if I... Power stance, though? Do I... It's funny, I don't actually have 2 of anything except the short sword, so... What if I do this? How do you power... What's the combination for power stancing? Is it this? No, that's like just 1. Ah, right. Yeah, L1 for your power stance combos. It's kind of cool. Dual wielding wizard is pretty cool. It's the thing from the trailer. Pulled by the giants. You know what? It's probably possible to cheese these. I love cheese. There's like something about cheeses that you never really get tired of, huh? Now, here's the thing. Will these boys notice if I just like... But what if I just climbed your thing and opened the chest? Is this not a chest? Can I not? Oh. I thought this was a chest. Where will they take me? No, I cannot. Moving a bit slow there, boys. You okay? You need some snacks? Or to hydrate. Man, they really put some work into animating those glutes, huh? Look at them. Practically gyrating rhythmically. Do they, like, care at all if I'm just, like, here? Can I just, like, ride their cart and they won't mind? Oh. You? Ah, I was hoping you could, like, Shadow of the Colossus this. What if you... No, okay, turns out you cannot, in fact, Shadow of the Colossus this. That would have been fun. I'm going to die. Yeah. Yeah. Gale, is that you? I wonder how this game, like, fits into the Soulsborne sort of chronology. Oh. Subject of... Oh, that was the wrong button. The subject of the game fitting into chronology. Can I cheese the Tree Guardian from here? At this point, it's a matter of honor for me to not, like, kill the Tree Guardian if I can't, like, cheese him. Right? This is, like... I'm staking my honor on this. One of these hit him. Come on. Aha! Bruh. Can I headshot him? So, what I've learned is that Tree Guardian can fire laser beams out of his shield. But the interesting thing is that I don't think he can do that all the time. I think it's like conditional. I think you need to hit him for a certain amount of damage to his shield, or otherwise like hit him with magic from afar. But I think I can just like cheese him from here. If I run out of arrows, I can just craft more. Cool thing about having a crafting system. So, in theory, even if I didn't have like great stats, I could still like cheese the hell out of my Tree Guardian, which is like very hard. Also, I am aware that my man does like reset after a certain point. Am I looping? Okay, so if I aim at him with the shield, if I aim at his horse, not so much. Hey, stop moving so I can shoot your horse in the butt. Aha! Yeah, so this is what I was saying. He does drop aggro, right? But if you hit him again, you'll notice he doesn't heal until you like heal up. So yeah, for example, I kind of feel bad for him. He has no idea. Poor man has no idea what's going on. There's just a strange creature shooting him with flaming bone arrows from on top of a wall where he can't reach. This is just kind of sad. Arrows do be getting a bit low though. Probably be a lot easier if I could aim. That's a bit far. So I put it in the... Okay, that's also overshooting a little bit. There we go. Perfect shot distance. Wait for him to deanimate. Ah, goddammit, he moves. Why is the AI so good? He knows I'm trying to cheese him. Well, if the AI was good, it'd just shoot a laser beam at me. So, you know. Can't be that. That's awkward. I've run out of arrows. How many arrows can I make? How many cracked pots can I make? Not a lot. Can't make that many arrows either. Got a lot stored? Oh, I don't have any stored either. That's awkward. Oh, never mind. I've got the fletched ones stored. I'll make as many as I can. And regular fletched bone arrows as well, and then yeah, I don't think 40 arrows is gonna cut it for this one. It's a matter of pride at this point, though. Wow, that did no damage. Alright, come a bit closer, bro. Aiming dead on. What's that? Okay, so its hitting is just not doing any damage. Presumably because bone arrows are god-awful. Yeah, that's probably it. I can't craft in the middle of a boss fight, huh? That makes a certain amount of sense, I suppose. It's a good thing he despawned, then. Oh, fine, let's disadvantage ourselves as much as possible and fight Tree Guardian. It's kind of a paradox, isn't it? I've cheated my way into the, like, major accomplishment in this game, and yet I'm still refusing to, like, properly make use of it. Like, I could probably just nuke this guy down by spamming spells. Hell, even my summons could probably take him at this point, assuming summons do scale. Melee damage didn't do a lot, but it did really go for him, which is nice of him. Okay, fire damage does a decent amount. Fire pop, they 50 hits. I call BS on that. How much does a stun dagger do? A lot. High amount. Oh! I guess that's fine. Nah. Such contradictory creatures, aren't they? Do I got any staff-based Ashes of Glory anymore? What does Determination do? Okay, yes, but what does it do is the thing. Ah, there... no, that's not it. Ah, there we go. Okay, so it's just to power up the next attack. Let's talk to Melina a little bit. Hi there.
Me? I'm searching for my purpose, given to me by my mother inside the Erd Tree, long ago, for the reason that I yet live, burned and bodiless. There is something for which I must apologize. I've acted the Finger Maiden, yet can offer no guidance.
They really...
I am no maiden. My purpose was long ago lost.
I feel like they really should have realized what they were doing when they named them Finger Maidens. It's just like... the joke makes itself. We return to nature. The fact that these skulls respawn with golden runes is kind of interesting. There's a lot more passive income in this game than most other games of its ilk. Right, what was I doing? Right, last time I had gone to... where is it? The beach! Right, I was going to the coastal cave last time. There's a beacon there. Let's go there. based on my delightful co-host's information, there seems to be a boss of sorts in this direction. Let's see. Also, I feel like I can probably do that thing. Also, here, have some raisins, my dear horsey. Oh. Alright, for science, we're gonna see if you can do the thing where you double jump just before you hit the ground to negate fall damage. I played on that one. You know what? It's for science. I feel like I can probably do that, huh? There's like a non-zero chance that that works. No, that's the get off course button, not the map button. I've been onto that island? I don't think I have. Alright, let's... First off, stomp this skull so I can pick up the rune that I don't really need. Okay. I'm sure I can do it. Okay, it doesn't let you do it. After a certain point, you just can't double jump anymore. Good to know! I mean... It's... not really gonna change much. I feel like I can probably manage somehow if it's like this. Though this time I'm probably gonna like actually go in the traditional fashion, i.e. not jumping off a cliff to my death. I do wish smoldering butterflies were a little bit more common though. I understand why they're sort of not. Now here's the thing. What are these guys like? Can you stealth? Oh, well, he sees me. Oh, they have individual rooms, huh? So, let's work on the right leg. Actually, I can probably get multiple with the arc, can't I? Oh, they do be having swords, though. Fire the magic to a certain extent. I wonder if those guys respawn. Probably do, right? I can see why they wouldn't. Right, time to kill these land octopi. Wow, those things have a lot of health. Or do they scale? It would be kind of neat if they scaled. That would make it even harder to properly cheat your way through the game. Also, I mentioned this in my last stream as well. I know that that's not what they mean when they say no skill. Like, when it says no skill, it's just referring to the fact that I don't have a weapon skill on this weapon. But I like to think that it's, like, talking to me correctly. For having no skill whatsoever. It's not untrue. Hi.
You again? I don't want any...
I'm not here for trouble. I just buy some items. Oh, I've already bought everything of value that you have. Yes. Is that... It's a straight sword, never mind. Bolts and arrows are fine. Boluses are fine, but... Fun fact! A bolus... They're even grosser when you, think about what a bolus is. A bolus is what you call the,
All done? Well, be on your...
ball of food that you make, like, after you're done chewing. Like, that resulting, like, lumpy mass, I believe, is called the bolus. So the implication here is that this is just, like, a bunch of pre-chewed herbs. And the ones you craft yourself, certainly, you can just be confident, well, you just chewed on some herbs and, like, made them ready to eat later, but, like... Sorry, I'm a bit sleepy today, did not get the best of sleep at night. Yeah. The thing is, though, when referring to the ones that other people chew up for you, that's kinda a little bit minkus, don't you think? Right, these things probably need holy damage to die off completely, don't they? I ran into these, like, in my last time I was streaming, and they absolutely do either me. It's like, I remember skeletons in DS1. You could one-shot them with holy damage, but you could also just kill them twice. Okay, it's like, you gotta kill them twice. Oh, or do you have to, like, you have to attack them while they're still reforming. I see. That makes a lot of sense now. Now, here's the issue. There be a cave behind the waterfall, as is... Are these penguins and or puffins? What are these things? Like, I don't need to, like, puffins right now. I need to know what they are. Hi. Well, turns out it doesn't matter if you have a lot of flasks if they're all unupgraded. Great. Oh, my first spirit spring, huh? Where does it actually take me, though? Okay, that was really funny. Completely unintentional, but it was kind of funny, though. Gotta admit. Well, let's go find my corpse and then try and go into that coastal cave. Right? Yes, for those worrying that this would be Dark Souls on easy mode, it actually kind of is now that I think about it, right? Like...
Tell that to Grant, who had spent like 6 hours on Margit.
Oh, hey Mel.
Yo, I literally just woke up.
Yes, I'm aware. So yeah, would you like to look at the stats of our Poggy boy?
Sure.
They're all 99. That's the spoiler.
Oh, Jesus.
It doesn't make a difference, though, since I've still consistently died many times for my own foolishness. Also, I found the proper position for the Tree Guardian cheese. And the good news is, the cheese is still a cheese, because it doesn't actually matter how much your stats are raised. Bow and arrows from a distance still do very little damage when unupgraded.
Interesting.
So it would still be a cheese kill.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have no idea how I killed these things in the last stream. I think they might have scaling health. Because, look at this. Right? They did not have over 1,000 health the last time. It's possible their health scales, so there might be fuzzy mechanisms placed in this game, which I'm honestly okay with, right? It's one of those interesting things about the human psyche. I could just nuke down Tree Sentinel. It's become a point of pride and honor for me to only beat him by cheesing him. Also, you want to guess how my last death was?
Did you fall off something?
No, it's even worse than that. I just pressed A on a spirit spring without aiming in the proper direction, so I jumped very high up and then immediately fell to the ground to my death.
That's Dark Souls sphere, or Souls-like sphere.
Now, here's my question. How the heck am I supposed to get into this cave?
Oh, that's the wrong place.
Oh!
It's actually further, it's back the way you came.
Oh, okay, so that's how you do this.
Yeah.
This is neat. Now, where's the next jump point? Because otherwise I might just have another death on my hands.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I feel like,
oh,
what
you
I've
jumped
seen,
very high.
Yeah. Like, from what I've seen, from, like, on the jump points, you don't take any fall damage, so it's weird that you died.
No, because I didn't jump onto the next jump point. I just jumped, like, 3 inches to the left of the jump point. Oh, and we're back at the start, huh? Well, I'm just gonna rest at the site of grace so I don't have to do this run back the next time. Yeah, I didn't go too overboard on the cheating, which I think you'll be proud of me for, even though I could have. Also, I did put the disclaimer in at the beginning of the stream that said this is very much an offline stream, i.e. I will not be interacting with other human beings at any point in this playthrough, so I feel fine. So, whereabouts is it?
So you know that cave-like, icon? Yeah, it's that.
Okay, yes, I get that, but I was like, was I not there?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Like, it should be, like, around here, right?
It's down on the beach, but it should be there.
Oh, I learned that you can't do the trick in this game where you can negate fall damage by holding your second jump and then just... So a lot of games let you do that, where you won't take fall damage if you just like double jump just before you hit the ground. But this game, it refuses to let you double jump if you fall a certain distance. Yeah.
Again, weird. I swear I've seen Grant do something like that.
Maybe I'm just bad. That's also a possibility. Right? Do you not open the map when you're in combat?
What?
The map chat wasn't opening. I assumed because I was in combat, so...
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fairly sure that's the case.
Is this... Oh! This is a very difficult to see entrance, huh? Alright, well, let's go.
We just walked past that.
Touch grass. Like, how many of the streamers you've watched have commented on the term finger maiden being very, awkward?
Have they actually commented on that? I'm not sure.
Is it just me, or, like, it's not just me, right?
I mean, it's certainly a very dark cave. You're the first person I've seen to actually take out a torch to deal with it.
That's because I'm just built different.
Everybody else just wandered in the dark. Have you figured out how to backstab yet?
I have. I don't think it works with a torch, though. That did a lot more damage than I was expecting, but I guess it makes sense. Ooh, I acquired Cave Moss Mill.
Don't go huffing it all in one go.
Back! Back, foul beast!
So I believe these are demi-humans.
Well, that's off the root of... You? Don't call... They can be humans if they want to be. Also, Millie, you want to see how many golden seeds I have?
Go on. Nice.
See, what's funny is that that's actually the number. If you have 99 seeds and then you fully upgrade your flask, that's how many you have left.
Have you upgraded your weapon as well?
Only up to +3.
That might be what you want to do if you want to up your damage.
I don't actually want to up my damage that much right now because I'm kind of just like I'm content with where I am. Oh, bleed is one of the few things that can probably move you.
It's a percentage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than a set damage thing.
Yeah. And what's even worse is that it's max health, not current health. So if it's like a 50% bleed and you're at less than 50%, you just die outright. This is a boss, isn't it? This is a summon sign for an NPC. Oh, wow, he's so handsome. Look at him. And I guess that knight guy is, like, not bad either.
You'll be glad to know everything in this cave can do bleed, I'm fairly sure.
Ooh, that's good. Why do I hear boss music?
Probably because it's the boss.
Oh. Wait. Oh, hi! I thought for a second that said never human chef. See, this is why cheating doesn't matter in Dark Souls, because if you don't get good, you'll just die anyway. Said I'm doing a ridiculous amount of damage, though. How many tries did this take, Grant?
Grant, not that many.
Who did it take a lot of tries?
Jesse. Admittedly, he kept aggroing both of them, which you somehow managed to avoid doing at the moment.
Well.
Oh, wow.
I do have AoE though. What class are you? What class is
I believe what was Jesse? I believe Jesse was a hero. So basically, he was not a magic class.
Yeah, so AoE and range really works, I guess.
Yeah. Also, you know, knowing what you're doing.
I suppose maxing out all your stats is done.
Probably. I'm fairly sure everyone else is dead by now.
Oh, Again! I'm out of heal.
He's not. That's 4 left. Oh, 3 left.
Yeah, they have to give me the chance. I'm one bleed away from death. Somehow... This is not unexpected.
Wow, yeah, good.
Right? This is why I'm playing on easy mode. If this is how badly if I can't beat this on max stats with like ludicrous amounts of damage, how do you expect me to do it like normally? This is why these games need an easy mode.
Again, by getting good.
Maybe I should get serious then. I'm like two-handed.
When you, I mean, yeah, when you enter the boss cave, you can probably put the torch away, because I'm fairly sure it's lit enough that you don't need it. Like this area, sure, you know,
This absolutely
it's
seems
dark.
like an optional area.
Most of the dungeons are, I'm fairly sure.
It's also surprisingly true. This is the tutorial dungeon, isn't it?
As I said last.
Oh. One moment, please. My Discord appears to have crashed. Thankfully, it was only Discord that crashed.
As I said last stream, this is the beginner's dungeon that people pointed Jesse towards.
Oh, that's not a block. I'd prefer to not aggro both this time. One down. The music combined with this image is just amazing. Look, guys, it's the demi-human chief boss. For some reason, he's just standing still. Where is the second? How did I... so far away. How did I echo it the first time?
Oh, sure.
Nicely, but can you, like... like backstab with a can fist the back. See how I do. Not a lot, huh?
And is that surprising, considering you're a puny magic boy?
I have 99 strength, Mill.
Well, you haven't upgraded your fists at all.
That's true. Haven't found that easy yet. So yeah, this is I'm gonna pay for this in the later game, by the way. Oh my god, tailoring tools? I can make clothes now?
Yep.
Worth 1,000,000,000% worth. What is this? Oh, it has an return to entrance feature. That's a quality of life that a lot of people wish existed in the earlier Souls-like games, let me tell you.
So, do you want me to find Margit for you?
I'm pretty sure you just follow the Graces, right?
Probably, but I
Margit?
can find the exact location of them.
You know what? Rather than Margit, what if you were to find, two things. I need the Flask of Wondrous Physic, and the other thing is the, what's his face? Where an indication as to when I can start learning new magic, like who the trainer or salesman is.
You again. I don't want any trouble.
We'll do that.
All done? Well, be on your way.
Also, the fact that there's a sleep status effect is terrifying to me. Do I just not have any tailoring recipes? Is that why I can't make anything?
Probably.
Oh, do I have souls? I don't have enough souls to be bothered about. So let me demonstrate to you how you can die on a spirit spring, Mill. The chat has already seen it, but like, if you'll just point your attention to the chat, and this. Oh no, hang on, it's not an auto jump pad. And this is how you die from a spirit spring jump. Oh, I know what happened. I fell into the water. That's why I died.
Yeah, that is just you being dumb then.
I never said it wasn't me being dumb. Can I go to the other side? Oh, I can. No, I cannot, Mill.
Okay, so Mask of Wondrous.
Oh, so that's what this does. Oh, it's a transmog system? Oh no, it like you take off the hood and stuff. Okay, I see. I thought I could make armor and stuff. That would have been neat.
Right. Zoom out a bit. Oh boy.
This is not a fast travel location, apparently. Where am I going?
Okay, so bring up your map.
How close and or far is it from the stooped crone?
Go up a bit.
Like, what's the nearest landmark?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so you don't even have it on the map yet.
Okay, you know
Oh,
what? We can leave that for later then. Fine. I'll just,
I mean, if you go vaguely northeast, you'll probably find it. Though if you hit the Divine Tower of Limgrave, you've gone too far north. Not east
I think
enough.
I'm just gonna go look for Margit and, like, see how easily he stomps me. So Margit's the first skill check, right? First skill check?
Pretty much. I mean, Grant struggled for so long on Market.
He's, like, quite good at this game. Or, like, games in general. And Souls-likes even more so. Alright, kids, time to go to church. Ooh, I didn't even know I hadn't gotten one of those yet. Actually, can I just fast travel from here? No, I cannot. Glad I have a horse then. Wow, you can just see the church-ass church building from the very first bonfire of the game. And we missed it. And got halfway to Margit.
Mm-hmm.
Anything new for me, Kale?
Wait. Weren't well, you're...
Sadly, it appears you do not.
I am of a nomadic people, selling wares as I travel. The land has been
So,
tainted
just
by
open your map
madness
again.
since it's only tarnished like your... Let's say you're a very welcome. Goodbye.
What, is this for Margit?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can just get to him on my own. Like, isn't he just
Oh,
like...
this is more for me, so that I can maybe
I see.
subtly steer you in the right direction if you're going astray.
I do tend to do that. So I'm guessing he's somewhere in this area. Probably, maybe around here. Here-ish. He's all the way over here. Probably not.
Okay. I've got a good idea where he is then.
Okay, I'll just, That's not the button. Let me just, like, make a beacon directly to the Stormhill Shack, first of all.
So, I think I know, or I figured out why I'm not particularly eager to get this game myself.
Okay, let's hear it.
The dodging mechanic seems very different from the very different and frankly quite a bit worse than the one from Neo.
How so?
Well, in Neo you can like quick step back. In this, it's all rolling.
You mean like this? You mean quick stepping like that?
I am behind, so I can't see anything. All I'm seeing you is ride the horse around. Oh, hey, another cave.
Oh, I thought this was gonna be a can't be opened side. I think this is the first thing I found on my own. That's nice.
Yeah, but to be fair, Fuzzy, you're having to do that with no clothes.
Well, no, you can backstep regardless of carry weight.
Why hasn't Grant been doing that?
Because most people just, like, in Dark Souls, rolling is, like, how you do it. Also, rolling has more iframes. It's slower, but it's got more iframes, and it's like, Also, jumping has iframes in this game. So you can just jump for some attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's talk to this allegedly dead person. Is he not supposed to have a voice actor, I suppose?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I found out how to kill the skeletons, by the way.
Yeah, you gotta hit them while they're on the ground.
Oh god! Oh god! Oh no. Okay. I need an adult! Oh, what are these? Oh, these are imps! I have some of these as my friends, but now they're not my friends. You know what's funny? I think my fists do more damage than attacking with... Yeah, my fists do more damage than attacking with the torch. Or with the staff. Oh no. It's resin. I wonder if Havel's in this game. Pretty cool if he was. Oh no. Why do I hear boss music? Ooh, I think Grave Glove Ward is pretty important, actually. I think it upgrades...
I think it's what you do to upgrade summons.
Yeah, it's either Summons or Ashes of War is upgraded by that. Ah, I see. That's the post-boss mechanism. Hi. Well, thank God for Dark Souls enemy AI. Huh. Well, you know, so much for that. Why are you so accurate? Yeah, so it turns out archery with like a less upgraded bow just sucks. definitely not a stats issue right now. Also, it's kind of cool that you can, like, quick shot the bow like that. You can absolutely cosplay as Hawkeye in this game, probably.
Probably.
Like, doing all sorts of quick shots and, like, rolling around and dipping, ducking, dodging, diving, and ducking. You know what's funny? I think my subconscious mind was anticipating playing this because I actually had a dream where I was attempting to cheese Tree Guardian with a bow and arrow last night. Except, you know, I was our beautiful Pogdanoff boy. Oh! That's a Goblin Flame. That's probably not great.
Oh yeah, this place.
Go, 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 go. Oh no!
You're fine there.
Oh yes! Dude. Oh wow, that sounds much worse than the Dark Souls variant. The Dark Souls variant is like, hello! Crispy little Pogdanoff. Find that down. But I want to see what's here. Terrifying wall imps is the answer. Apparently.
Yep.
Shoot him right in the dick.
That was the hat.
Look at those glutes though. Have you noticed the stab giant things? They've got some junk in the trunk, if you know what I'm saying. Like, the devs put a lot of effort into animating that badonk. Oh, I but I missed the other thing.
Two of them, in fact.
It's funny, it's actually faster to roll shot than it is to... like, not do that.
So I've done a bit of research, and you apparently already have the... well, according to the person who put together the wiki, the second best and fourth best spells in the game.
Yeah, but I don't want the best spells in the game. I want the coolest looking spells in the game.
That's something I can't tell from the wiki.
Yeah, that's why I want to buy all of them to try.
Well, then you've got a lot of exploring to do.
Is there not like an early vendor? I'm assuming
There
it's
is.
the forearmed witch lady.
Do you remember what she's called?
Rena?
No. Certainly not for the ones you want to use.
This is cool. What is... it's an axe, apparently? Oh! So you can actually put a quick step on, like, a weapon.
Ah.
That's kind of cool. Oh god, I do not like the posture he's making, especially since he's not really wearing any clothes and is covered in blood and is a beautiful poggy boy. Look at him. Look at those low poly blood textures.
I mean, when he bends out, stuff almost certainly pops out.
Look, Emile is a grower, not a shower.
Yeah, there's like half a dozen people who sell sorceries, so.
I'll probably try, like, the faith stuff as well, since stats aren't really the issue. Yeah, if game stuff, like, it's the principle of, like, usually the simplest stuff is the best. It's like how Eldritch Blast is a freaking starting cantrip for most warlocks, but it's, like, kind of one of the best spells in the game, period.
I mean, it's important for warlocks because warlocks get, like, no spell slots, so they need cantrips.
You know, it's the principle of the thing, right? Like, sometimes the starter gear is the best. That doesn't mean it's the most interesting. Oh, that's interesting. I can summon my own Wandering Noble Posse. Is that all? It can't be. Where I came from, or is that where I was going?
Yeah, you don't get any easy dungeon maps. Gotta figure that shit out on your own.
Again, this is not great news for someone who's gotten... Oh! Illusory Wall? Illusory Wall? Illusory Wall? Has Grant found a natural Illusory Wall yet?
I don't think he has, but apparently they do exist. Also, you missed a lever.
I know, I saw the lever. I wanted to check for walls first.
Apparently illusory walls and illusory floors exist, so...
Okay, illusory walls seem like are like bountiful treasures. I feel like illusory floors exist to troll you, and I'm scared.
So now you gotta go find Heavy Door.
See, the awkward thing is that we've seen it, and I just don't remember. Oh, is it the one at the beginning? It might be, isn't it? It is, isn't it? Oh, yeah, there it is, right here. Oh no, why do I hear boss music?
Yeah, and probably because you're heading towards the boss.
Surely there's not a boss behind this wall of fog. You know, the tradition from back in the days of Demon Souls or even earlier, where there's a boss behind a wall of fog. I'm sorry, is that a... What is that? That's a Sphinx dog thing with a... That's horrifying. Ah!
Yeah, you should probably move.
Really do not like the way that thing moves. Yes, can breathe fire. Killers block fire, though. It's fine. Killers also apparently de-lock on. I can see why...
This one isn't too hard.
Yeah, it seems like even, like, pattern is easy enough. We don't seem to have a phase 2 either. We just need to, like, you know, get good. And not do that. I'm glad I'm playing this as a magic build. I'm sure
You really need to stop being, like, right under it when it drops.
Look, I was trying to get the timing down for the... See, that time I did it. Get the timing down. Wow, it really just does its ground pound and nothing else, huh? Alright then.
Now you've got more friends.
Are we not gonna talk about this ominous ass, whatever the hell this is?
Nope. Not at all.
Death
Gonna
orgy
ignore
going
it
on here.
completely. Ignore it completely.
So, am I alone in, like, whenever I see the word Limgrave pop up, I'm like, Limmigrave? And I start wondering what's heavier, pound of, kilogram of steel or a kilogram of feathers. Are you familiar with Limmy?
See that Scottish,
Yes.
Scottish streamer? Yeah, my friends from high school like obsessed with him, but I've never really understood the appeal.
Well, let me ask you a question then. What's heavier, a kilogram of steel or a kilogram of feathers?
I mean, in terms of weight, they are the same thing because they are both 1 kilogram.
But steel is heavier than feathers, though.
Not when they're the same weight, which they are.
Steel is heavier than feathers.
Steel is denser than feathers.
Yes, steel is heavier than feathers. That's what I said. So it should be the steel that's heavier.
Yeah, not when they're the same weight.
And we have literally just almost verbatim recreated the one of the quintessential Limmy bits.
Well, I didn't especially enjoy it, so I'm gonna, stick to avoiding him.
It's very. Are you familiar with I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson?
No.
It's a sketch comedy show that's like, the show is essentially about weaponizing secondhand embarrassment.
Then I would absolutely hate that.
Yeah, it's like a nightmare, but at the same time you kind of just like, you can't stop watching.
No, I would stop watching immediately.
Herba.
Like, secondhand embarrassment is like probably the second or third most common reason I stop watching something.
How did you make it through 4 seasons of Camp Camp then?
Because Camp Camp is genuinely funny, and like, the secondhand embarrassment is not the main source of humor. Meanwhile, I've never been able to I've never been able to properly watch Parks and Rec, and I'm never going to be able to watch stuff like The Office.
I miss Camp Camp.
Yeah.
That's like definitely like not getting another season, right?
It seems unlikely at the moment. I mean, the thing is that the main writer has left Rooster Teeth.
And Rooster Teeth still has the rights.
And I'm not even 100% sure if the main writer wants to do more, considering they are now, I think they're doing video game writing.
How many people at Rooster Teeth moved into video game writing? Like, that's at least 2 that I can think of off the top of my head. My only, there's only one single regret I have about this game.
Can't really Skyrim your way up walls.
How did you know what I was thinking? Yeah, the horse has some wonkier hitboxes than you might think initially, But you cannot. Oh, hang on. We may have spoken too soon, Mill. I'm doing it, Mill.
Again, maybe you just gotta get good.
Well
Or
then.
maybe you just... Congrats. You died to gravity.
Oh. Oh no, the game crashed. The stream is still going though, but it's on this. Oh no, it's on display capture. Ah.
Yep. Can see your desktop.
My shame.
Speaking of shame, you haven't uploaded last week's stream to YouTube yet.
Oh god damn it, I completely forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. I'm very forgetful. Is the thing. So, let's... Thankfully, the stream is still going, so, you know, it's not a total flop.
Also, speaking of shame, well, I'm not ashamed of this at all. I find it quite funny. The YouTube upload for our most recent anime stream has a dislike on it.
That's really funny.
And I've
Honestly,
looked
that's
at
a point of pride.
Yeah, well, I've looked at the analytics in terms of the engagement, and I'm fairly sure, like, it's because somebody probably watched, like, the first, what is it, like, 10 minutes of it, which is where we talk about Attack on Titan, and therefore, you know...
Yes.
That probably happened.
Also, how about that latest One Piece chapter, huh?
Yeah, I'm avoiding, like, properly theorizing about it, because I feel like this is going to be one of those chapters where nobody knows the right answer properly until it gets confirmed. And then we'll look at it and go, oh my god, there was so much foreshadowing for that and we didn't even realize. Also, can you not just...
I cannot get my stuff, runes back, so...
You didn't have that many anyway.
Killed 2 bosses without dying, I think. Oh wait, never mind. Yeah, it's not worth it. Trouble.
Also,
get some shrooms instead.
With all your cheating capabilities, I would have thought runes would not be an issue.
It's like a lot of trouble to start up the table and then like, run the script. It's like it's easier to just like do it once and never touch it again. Like I said, I'm not going hardcore cheating. There's like God mode and infinite health and stuff. Like I'm just like I just maxed out. Literally all I did is max out my stats and give myself more flask charges. That is literally all I did. I can hardly be faulted for that.
Well, you're heading in the vaguely right direction for Margit, so...
Yeah, he's like the... Oh, hello. Dung Beetle! Come back! Give me Ashes of War. There you go. Who have I acted? My attempts to get that Dung Beetle... Oh, God! Oh!
I would...
Ballista.
Yeah, I would say most of the castle.
You know what? Worth it. 100% worth it. To get some of that sweet beetle dung.
So, there are side routes in this game.
What now?
Sides.
What, like, fries? Oh! So, okay. The Discord's a little choppy, so I thought you were saying sides. I assumed you were talking about side dishes, and I made a joke that... Or, I assumed you were talking about side quests, so I made a joke about side dishes, and it became this entire thing.
I mean, I just got confused.
Yeah,
As to why you were making a joke about French fries when I was talking about a farming implement that can also be used as a
well,
weapon.
I mean, potatoes.
You don't farm potatoes with a scythe.
I mean, you could if you tried hard enough. Probably.
It would not be the optimal implement.
So, have you seen that, like, one viral, video of, like, guy with, electric grass cutter and guy with scythe at a Ren fair?
No.
Oh,
I don't tend to watch random videos on YouTube unless they're of something
they're not
that
on
I've
YouTube. I think
actually
it's a
watched.
TikTok, actually, and I'm pretty sure someone's posted it in the relevant meme channels, like, multiple times.
Then that especially explains it. I try not to watch TikToks.
Even when they're, like, embeds in the meme channel?
Yeah.
Oh.
Only unless, like, I am actually, like, mentioned in it will I watch the TikToks. Because look, I'm as much as I am only 24, I'm also an old man when it comes to new
absolutely.
trends.
So here's the thing. You say you're only 24, but 24 is old now, Mil. I don't think you've realized this. We're past our prime.
Is that why I'm finding it so much harder to do all-nighters now?
Yes. Oh, can you do the thing where you sneak behind him and then... No? You can't use that? That's BS. You can't.
Yeah, I can't use the ballista.
It'd be hilarious if you could, like, stealth past them all and then just backstab this guy and then just mow them all down with the ballista. That would be fun.
Fortunately not.
Anyway, Margit time.
Yeah, you're in the right place for it. Don't worry, there is a spot of grass nearby, so.
Oh, we get to touch grass? Oh, there
Yep.
you go. Let's touch some grass. Yeah, so, basically, I'm gonna go off on a rant about this particular, video. Because it was a shirtless dude, a young shirtless dude, and a less fit middle-aged gentleman. The gentleman had the... Oh, I want your hat. Bruh. I want your hat so bad. Anyway, so the shirtless dude was like using a traditional scythe to cut the grass, and he was doing it much faster. And everyone's like, oh, well, yeah, it just turns out technology is overrated. But I'd like to point out the ease of use of just an electric grass cutter is so much, like, more viable than a scythe. It's just like, those are the kinds of arguments that are just like,
I mean, yeah, the people saying that are, you know, unfit people with bad backs and no strength in their shoulders, and, you know,
like us?
well, yeah. While this guy, you know, probably is able to cut whatever they want to cut faster than an electric mower. There's no way we would be able to do that.
Foul Tarnished. In search of
Hi,
the
Margit.
Elden Ring.
How you doing?
Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
That is a hairy arm.
Yep.
Never heard of manscaping, my dude? Is he not wearing pants? 'Cause I'm okay with that.
Reminds me of my old... Oh, what was the subject? It was some weird subject that I can't remember the name of anymore, but he was also a business and economics teacher.
The fell.
Good old Mr. Wilson, who kind of went senile before he retired.
Oh, that's very sad. Oh, okay, hi.
Some of my friends may have seen him wandering around the car park looking for his car one time.
That's sad. Okay, I'm just like doing a... This is recon. I should be dead. I'm curious about it, how much damage. What is that? Can I cut his tail off?
Don't know, not seeing anybody do it yet.
The dude is not wearing pants, huh?
Well, when you get a name like Margit the Fell Omen, you don't have to wear pants anymore.
Okay.
It's just the rule.
So I can see why this boss Oh my god, can you just tease him to fall off?
No.
No?
No. Yep.
Be able to do that with a bunch of
Yeah, no, they most definitely fixed that. Because
this
Grant
game is just Dark Souls with a different name, right?
Yeah. Well, so what? Again, I feel like I'm like mentioning him a lot, but he is pretty much the only streamer I've consistently watched play this game. I think I probably do agree with Grant in that it's basically like the best bits of every From Software game.
Yes.
So Souls, Bloodborne, and Sekiro.
Plus, horse and crafting.
But yeah, Grant got very annoyed that Margit would fall.
I've hit his tail a bunch. I don't think they have tail cuts in this game. There haven't been tail cuts since like DS1 or 2. So, you know, since DS1, since we don't talk about Dark Souls 2. I miss them.
That mine's been doing well. Stream keeps buffering.
Yeah, so the those for dodges on this guy are not looking well. Oh, he's got a hand. This happened.
Yep, it's phase 2 time.
Must truly run in thy veins.
On internet, don't be a dick. Fuck's sake.
Put these foolish ambitions to rest.
Okay, I don't think he can cut his tail off.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure you can't.
Wait, what if that's not his tail?
Don't go there.
I was gonna say, what if it's one of his, like, arm things? He's got a lot of arms. Why do you have to make it weird, Mill?
Because you generally make it weird. And that means I have to be anticipatory for you doing that.
Oh, how's that working out for you? You're giving me the moral high ground by doing that, funnily enough. I want to be flashy, is the thing.
Well, then you need 2 swords on a chain.
Are there chainswords in this game?
Ah, no fucking clue. I was just making a Demon Slayer reference.
Oh, right, I forgot that. Or it has.
Speaking of, the podcast on Saturday could have gone better in that we ran out of stuff to talk about for the animated content about an hour in.
Oh, no.
And ended up just talking the entire series. So we're probably not going to do another Demon Slayer podcast.
Slayer.
Yeah, it was a series with potential that ended up not really fulfilling that. In that it fucking bum rushed its way to the end as well. While also making...
right at the end and then spent way too long on the end.
Again, I've said this so many times now, and I will keep saying it with regards to Demon Slayer. It is a series that is both paced too fast and too slow. Its overall story is paced way too fast.
No, my evil children.
Yeah, its overall story is paced way too fast, but its actual arcs are almost always paced too slowly. But yeah, like, I'll make the same comparison I did on Saturday. In comparison, we talked about 24 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen anime content, and we took 2 hours. Meanwhile, we talked about, like, 44 episodes of Demon Slayer animated content, and it only took an hour.
In fact, we didn't actually get through all we wanted to get through.
We not?
In Jujutsu Kaisen.
I'm sure. Did we not cover all of the anime content?
No, we covered it all, but there was a lot of miscellaneous stuff to talk about that we kind of just glanced past.
But, yeah. I think that really says it, and it makes me sad that Demon Slayer is the more popular series. Because it really shouldn't be.
Smoldering with light.
Well, thanks to your cheating, you took significantly less time to beat him.
Look, Mil, don't be one of those guys. Like,
I'm making an objective point.
I get it. They're like, do you have any idea how many times you see whether it's like a GameFAQs forum or like a Steam discussion thread where someone asks like, hey, how do I edit the game files to like give myself an advantage in a single player game? And then just they come crawling out of the woodwork as like, why are you cheating? Aren't you're ruining the original developer's intention for the game, blah blah blah. I mean, it's just like, my dude, it's a single player game. No one
I miss the days when the devs put the cheats in the game themselves.
Whatever happened to cheat codes, man? Like there used to be. Like,
I don't know. Seriously, what actually happened there? I loved it when games had cheats.
Oh, hi.
Forgive me. I've been testing you.
Hey,
to
you
see
maiden.
whether or not grace truly does guide you, and whether you are fit to face the challenge that entails. It seems my worries were unfounded. Torrent.
But yeah,
took
it's
your
something
measure from
that
the very
died,
start,
like, between the
whereas I
PS2
merely
and PS3 eras.
There is but one other thing.
And I don't know
can do
why.
For you guidance. I can take you to the Round Table Hall, gathering place of Tarnished.
Because like there are a shit ton of like PS2 games with cheat codes, but I feel like there are like almost none in the PS3 era.
For but a moment.
Oh no. Should blur this out. Oh, that's not proper hand holding. It's fine.
There's apparently a character you can just cuddle with.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
I don't want to subject any of the characters to this, though. Oh, this is...
Also, I believe you're in a place where there is
merchants, yes.
Where there is merchants, and especially sorcery merchants.
Are you a sorcery merchant? Oh, you know what? There's something I need to put on the quick bar. Hi, Mr. Default. Final Fantasy-ass armor.
Oh, sorry, not sorceries. It's a different type of magic.
I don't care! Magic is magic.
Ah, hello.
Okay, let me find the
You
name
must be
then.
new here. Well, just call me Dialos. The
You're
owner of
looking
one
for a
house
for a
holds
person
little
called
import in these
Korhin.
lands. By the way, have you met a young woman named Lanya on your travels? She's my servant.
Brother Korhin, at
but
that.
fickle as the wind. Take your eyes off her for but a moment if you find her.
Probably, like, other things as well. Hi.
Oh, this is a rare occasion.
I was all just
Can't
talking to
remember
everyone.
the last time a new Tarnished made their way to the round table. Very well. As your senior,
Why do so many people in this
I
game
bid you
have
welcome.
this specific British
it
accent?
is safe here. You may
That's
let
the only
down
British
your
accent
guard.
people think exists.
I'm guessing it's the guy who's dressed as in the default priest gear.
Oh, I see you've just arrived.
That would be a good guess.
Welcome to the Round Table Hold. I'm Corin, a man of the cloth. I teach incantations, the strength granted us by the Two Fingers.
Korhin, whatever.
And explore the secrets of the Golden Order, so that one day, if a Tarn ensuring order regains its proper form,
Have you met the
right
Two
can
Fingers
rule
yet?
over men.
Nope.
By the way,
You
do you
should.
still see it? The guidance of grace.
I'm fairly sure you're in the
do.
right place for it.
Wonderful news. Most Tarnished are blind to it these days.
Not 100%
You
sure.
are something of a rare breed. Well, what do you say?
Oh, so pyromancy is just fully converted into faith, into faith now, huh? I can shoot fireballs now. That's nice.
May the Golden Order
Well, that's good. I have access to something. Oh, I don't have any talismans, though. Or, like, the stuff you need to cast incantation, so I can't switch to those immediately. Let me see. Oh, here you are, my beautiful smithing boy.
You're a new face.
Andre, is that you?
It's all the same.
Has Andre's beard.
Lay out your arms. Let's get smithing.
You can duplicate Ashes of War, huh? Ah, I see, I understand. Don't have enough materials to strengthen any of this stuff.
Oh, returning to Jujutsu Kaisen for a moment. Well, two things. First, I'm going to see the Zero movie this weekend.
Yeah, I kind of want to go see it too.
I'm really looking forward to it. Especially considering I do absolutely love Megami Ogata, who's voicing Akatsu.
Look at this thing. It's too big
It's
to be
the
called
gut
a sword.
sword.
It's too big to be called a sword. It's more like a heap of raw iron.
You can get that sword, by the way.
I know, it's the great sword. You can get it in every single Souls game. Yeah, no, Miyazaki is an unabashed, like, Berserk
Berserk fan.
fanboy.
Yeah.
Like, Dark Souls is basically a Berserk fan game, in some respects.
I wonder if after this he will try and do an actual Berserk game.
You know, it's not out of the question, though, that I think... Who has the rights now?
I'm not sure. I know there was a Berserk game at some point.
Yeah, it was like a... I think it was a Musou game.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly, I would trust FromSoft to just, like, continue Berserk.
So, developed by Omega Force, published by Koei Tecmo.
Hi.
Greetings, great champion called by grace. I am Fia.
It did not sell
Circumstances have
especially
compelled my
well.
Stay at the round table, great champion.
Oh,
Would
this
allow
is the
me
girl
to
you can
hold
cuddle with.
But briefly, perhaps you might share with me some of your life. Doing so will grant you, I am sure, will bear a Baldakin's blessing. Do you think it vulgar, perhaps? Where I come from, it is I understand.
Look,
Your disdain
Emile
is
does
only
not
natural.
swing that way.
But should you change your mind, come pay me another visit.
So yeah, so looking forward to Jujutsu Kaisen 0, but I also
So-
early.
Are we allowed to spoil Jujutsu Kaisen mildly?
If we say like spoiler warning,
Yeah, spoiler
give it
for-
give it like a minute, so
Yeah.
that anyone who doesn't want to be spoiled on Jujutsu Kaisen past, let's just say the where the anime ended, can mute for a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm talking about the latest ass chapter.
Yeah, definitely not then. In terms of people who don't want to be spoiled should be muting right now. Hint, hint. Mute, please. Don't blame us for spoiling. We're talking about the official release.
Yes, it's on Manga Plus and everything.
We're probably given enough time.
Okay, so like, did Akatsu marry his dead childhood friend?
I honestly have no idea. We are not going to get that answer until next chapter. Like, we're not going to get the chapter of
I
what
think we're just not gonna get the answer. Is Akatsu a harem protagonist? Because he's got like his dead ghost girlfriend, and I'm pretty sure Maki is into him too, and I'm like...
And Inumaki.
Huh?
And Inumaki.
Yeah, I think Akatsu is just like a harem-ass harem protagonist at this point.
Speaking
I'm okay
of
with
harem,
that, honestly.
yeah. Speaking of harem protagonists, I also didn't realize that Tadano was one.
Which one's Tadano? Which Tadano, actually? Oh!
Kami.
Oh, ugh. Ugh.
I got another couple of volumes today, so I read them and I really enjoyed them.
Ugh.
I really enjoy Komi.
Ugh. Komi exemplifies everything I hate about the fluff genre.
But there's progress.
After 371 chapters!
Not that many chapters. 271.
That's the length of many full manga. There's several series that don't go that long.
Well, Komi did, so you shouldn't be able to complain about it. It's progress. What more do you want? I haven't even reached the progress bit yet, to be fair, but I know it's coming, which is why I can watch the stuff that's happening with a Najimi air of enjoying the chaos.
Now, here's the thing. Is that... I'm sorry, what? Excuse me? Oh, okay, I will also bow to you. Hello? Please don't sight me while I'm bowing. Ah! Oh no, he's a wizard. I've met my match. Oh god, he's got better spells than me. You can dodge roll, Mill. a scythe!
The greatest of all weapons.
Freezing and bleeding me at the same time. Fair. I have more mana.
Yeah, but he's better than you.
Oh my god, casting takes stamina.
Yeah.
He's healing? That's not fair.
If you get to heal, he gets to heal as well. It's only fair.
Why does casting take so much stamina? Also, why does he get to have infinite stamina? That's not cool.
Because he is beloved by the devs, and you are not.
I really should not have taken my throwing knives off my quick bar.
Probably not. Why don't you run into that cold mist? See what happens.
You have to try a bit harder. Oh, okay, so the projectile speed is slow.
I think I saw a Canadian quarter in the middle of that mist. You should go pick it up.
I don't get out of bed.
I think I saw a giant pile of Canadian money in there.
A pile of money that size. I like a bagel with cream cheese and like a double. Tim Hortons. I'm making a joke about the relative weakness of the Canadian dollar. Relative to
Also, I've been to Tim Hortons. It wasn't great.
It's so the thing about is that only people who like Tim Hortons are people with Stockholm syndrome. It's very much that kind of establishment.
It could also be that just that I have bad taste, considering I do actually really like Denny's and IHOP.
As far as I can tell, Denny's and IHOP are like bad for you, but they're pretty.
Oh, they are awful. They will kill me at some point.
Yeah, but
if I
like
keep
I'm pretty
going
sure
to
they're
them.
pretty consistently agreed to like taste decent at least.
No, that's for sure. And it's been, God, it's coming up for 3 long years since I've been able to have it.
Do they not have those where you live?
Nope, they do not have Denny's or IHOP in the UK. Not as far as I know, anyway.
Also, Phil, I know you like said that you cuddle with this lady, but I'm pretty sure cuddling is not what she's talking about.
No, it's definitely cuddling. I've actually seen people do it, and it is just cuddling.
No, but like, I'm sure that's what FromSoft is allowed to show. But like, the implication.
It is cuddling. You see, you're the one making it weird now.
You want me to make it weirder?
No.
Do you remember what I said in the like Manga Plus spoilers chat? Again, we never talked about Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, we never finished talking about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, yeah, that where I, shut you down by saying, hey, Rika is the spirit of an 11-year-old.
No, but like, the reason I'm saying it is that
Rika is the spirit of an 11-year-old.
who has been aware and conscious and aging the whole time. She's been dead. Alongside Akotsu. You can make... That is not the worst thing that could happen in an anime.
No, but it's pretty bad, and I don't want to think about Jujutsu Kaisen in that way.
Okay, Mr. Thruple fanfiction.
Exactly. Keep me with the fucking main trio, damn it. Or, if you're gonna talk about Akatsu with anyone, sorry, Maki or Inumaki or both.
Akatsu's the
Panda
meat
doesn't
in that
get it.
sandwich, right?
Yes, 100%.
So the problem with... Here's the thing, though. Any relationship involving Akatsu is complicated by the fact that Rika is literally always there. Watching.
I'm not discussing this.
So who's the meat in the main trio sandwich?
Yuji.
I don't know.
Megami takes from Yuji, Yuji takes from Nobara.
Oh, I see. Okay. No, that makes more sense.
If they were to do it that way. I've also seen ones where they just, like... Megami takes from both Yuji and Nobara.
Megami strikes me as a power bottom. What do you think?
I feel like he's feel like he's definitely bottom, but I don't think he's a power bottom. I feel like he's the type to give up control in sex.
But
Like he's so controlled in every other aspect of his life. This is the one area where he lets go and gives in to Yuji and Nobara.
now, here's the real question. Do you think Gojo bangs?
No, because nobody likes him enough. At least not since Geto died. Not since Geto died.
I feel like an argument could be made that, like, there's some hate banging going on with, like, at least Ieri. No?
I think the relationship there is far too complicated for hate banging.
What about with, like, what's his face? The Ijichi.
No.
No?
No.
Nanamin?
No. Nanamin has not loved anyone that way since Haibara died.
I thought you were gonna say since he was, like, working in office.
No.
I'm sorry, what now? What is this that I just received? Is it a weapon? It is!
Yeah, Gojo might have had sex since Geto died, but, like, I genuinely do not think that,
I'm sorry, it's a lightsaber Wolverine claw?
I genuinely do not think there has been any feelings involved at all since Geto died.
I think I've just found my new main weapon.
What's his special ability? Is it just that stab?
Yeah. What happens if I two-hand this? Oh my god. It's just got inherent dual. Alright, I'm main.
I can't wait for you to die so much when you overestimate the range of this.
I mean, it's gonna happen. Honestly, I wish I'd been able to fight Margit with these. I would have died a lot more.
Oh, you can still fight Margit.
I'm sorry, what?
He comes back.
He what? Also, how do I leave?
I mean, Grace. Teleport out.
Like, where's the option to teleport out?
Press table at Lost Grace.
Yeah. Oh, you open the That's how you I thought the fast travel was just an option over there, or I didn't realize you could just fast travel. I thought you could only fast travel from specific bonfires. So how long have we been going?
You've been going for about 2 hours 20. I've been here for like the last hour and 20 of that.
You know what? Let's go until my dog wakes up. Might as well do a bit of a longer stream today. Yeah, now, on the subject of, extremely unlikely, crack ships, has there ever been, like, a crack ship that you've sincerely believed in and wished would happen?
I suppose that depends on what you define as a crack ship.
That's a very good question, isn't it? Well, what do you define as a crack ship?
Something that doesn't even make sense in terms of the shipping, because, like, look, as much as by the general definition, something like, say, Tododeku is probably a crack ship because it's never going to happen in canon, because Japan is homophobic as fuck.
Okay.
I wouldn't consider that a crack ship because it actually makes sense based on their interactions.
Yeah, okay, let's go with that definition then. Like a ship where you're just like, it doesn't make sense, but you feel like it would.
Let me think. I mean, in that sense, like, a lot of the fucking, and I'm going to use this to segue into something, something else, but I will go with it anyway. Probably a lot of my, Harry Potter ships are classified as that.
Oh, dear.
Considering, like, I will ship Harry with, quite a few female characters who just get next to no screen time, and therefore we don't actually know what their personalities are, because fucking the Turfu tweets never actually gave them a personality. You can't make it across that.
I know, but I wish I could.
I'm just gonna, you know, tell you that now. You cannot make it across.
Oh, that's where I have
routes.
Yes, it's this way. I was like kind of lost. I was like, if I can't summon my horse and if I can't jump, what am I supposed to do? Oh, I can't summon the horse here, huh?
But yeah, to segue it over, the Tofu tweets has really just gone full mask off now. If she hadn't already before, she definitely has now.
There's an anti-masker joke there somewhere.
After the latest round of tweets, for sure. And anyone who disagrees is either naive or a bigot themselves.
Why not both?
Because, like, she pulled out the whole, oh, I have friends who are black thing, but with, like, the LGBTQ community.
What is up with this guy?
Yeah, this guy. I remember this guy.
Get some sleep, man.
You're tarnished, aren't you?
I mean...
This is a good guy.
I would advise against taking the main gate into the castle. It's tightly guarded by hardened old hands.
Oh, you don't say.
Oh, try the opening right here. The guards don't know about it.
How
You'll reach
though?
the castle undetected.
Literally right next to the front gate.
Yes, that's the spirit.
Guards are dumb.
You're just the kind of I pray for.
Like, here's the thing. It's right next to the main gate, and it's a giant freaking hole.
Yeah. But see, he's praying for your success.
Is this the new Patches?
I don't know
Okay,
who
so Patches is a recurring NPC in Dark Souls. In FromSoft, really. Who basically he's like, hey, you want some treasure? It's right down there, and then when you look down, he kicks you off a cliff. That's his entire character.
No, I don't think he is. Grant has interacted with this guy.
Oh, good. A statue of America. That's not ominous at all. Is this entire zone a horse-free zone?
Probably, yeah, I think so.
I'm so glad these weapons exist.
But yeah, so the Turfu tweets was like, oh, I've had innumerable gay people come up to me and say, like, tweet to me and say they agree, and then like 40,000 tweets later, yeah, that was proven pretty wrong.
Illusory wall? How about you?
Would look like it.
Like, so, there's something I've been thinking about.
This is dangerous.
Me thinking about something or this jump?
Both.
I thought so. What I've been thinking about is, what do you think it's like to be, like, the pioneers of, like, speedruns and stuff, right? Like, because the Elden Ring speedrun is currently down to, sub 30. Right? Distortion 2 has been putting the grind in, and it's down to sub 30, and I'm just like, how? Who discovers these glitches? Like, a glitch where, like, you have to equip and unequip, like, you know what some of those glitches feel like? Those, Pokemon posts where you have to, like, fight the Elite Four, like, 20 times in a row, and then, like, touch grass 4 times without getting a single Pokemon, and then, like, fly to the truck in Old Ridge Town and you'll get, like, a Mewtwo or something. That's what some of those glitches sound like, and they actually happen. Like, what kind of mindset do you have to find things like that actively? Because the speedrunning community isn't just, like, stumbling into these things. The fact that this game has been out for less than a month and the speedrun is... Ah! Why does this chicken have sword legs?
Oh yeah, these guys. Somebody taped the swords to its feet.
This thing has heavy Monet energy. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to say it gets worse for these enemies as well. Or with these enemies. And it's very fun. It's so cool. Some of these enemies are legitimately really fucking cool.
Some of them are just very dumb. And some of them are just very dumb, but also very cool. Now here's the question. Can I get these leg blades as weapons?
Not sure, I don't think so.
Replace my legs with swords.
You might be able to get them with weapons, but you have to wield them in your hands.
Lame. Can't wait for the people to mod that in.
Or you just have, like, blade leg prosthetics.
Oh yeah. Also, it wouldn't surprise me if those were a thing that could happen. The reason I say that is that this is a developer who famously has implemented an armor in the game that makes it possible to damage people by rolling, which has led to people beating the game exclusively by using that armor and rolling into people.
Should probably go up there.
I should, which means I'm gonna go down here first. Because, you know... Rule number 1 of video game exploration. This is very hard to get on this time. They do hit. Rule number 1 of video game exploration is, when you see the way you're supposed to go in the exact opposite direction.
Especially when it's off a cliff.
I think I can hit a plunging attack from here. I just touched grass. It should be fine.
Might as well try.
Oh, there's 2 of them. Wonderful. But yeah, we were talking about the enemy design in Elden Ring, and like, that's the thing about FromSoft. Like, FromSoft is a lot of things. Bad at enemy design is not one of them. You know, except for the 900 reskins of the hollows.
Okay, let me make a distinction. They are good at visual enemy design. They are sometimes too cruel on actual like moveset design.
I think something get good. Nice sneak attack a bird. If I were to sneak attack a bird, it's on.
Yeah. I think that's your biggest issue. Is it seeing you?
Oh, there's 3 of them now. This is the progression of this game. There's just going to be 1 more bird in every subsequent area.
Maybe not third, but yes, just 1 more enemy. There are a lot of dual boss battles.
Can't wait for the mod. You know what? I can't wait for the randomizers. Actually, there's already one that's a bit finicky to get working. So, once the randomizers...
Your flashes do not heal a lot of your health.
Because I've got my... and an unupgraded. Like, I have a lot of flasks, but they're all level 1 flasks. Like, level 0 even.
You should really get on that.
I don't know where the upgrade maps are. I haven't got a single upgrade material yet. I think they're like Sacred Tears is how you upgrade them, and I don't have any of those. And I don't know where to find them. I could cheat them in, but that's more for my private run. My private run, if you think this is a cheaty run, my private run is gonna go ham. Okay, time to go in the direction I'm supposed to. Should probably heal up first.
Yeah, Sacred Tears. You need Sacred Tears.
But do we wash our pits full of Sacred Tears or no?
No.
Are you aware of the reference I just made? And
No.
if so, are you mad?
No.
Panda.
It's been so long since I've actually watched Kung Fu Panda.
I've heard that the sequels were actually not awful.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Also, you know how I said that guy wasn't the new Patches?
Mel.
Yeah, I lied. It was funnier that way. See, this is why OSHA tells you to put handrails up.
Yeah, I didn't even kill one of those guys. He just like
He just
decided to
fucking
end.
fell.
He just decided it was time.
This is why you need handrails, damn it.
Rails won't stop you if you're determined enough. Oh, I see. Yeah, they are the same character model, huh? Oh, is this gunpowder? Have I just covered myself in oil and gunpowder?
Yes.
It's probably gonna be bad.
I'm not sure if it'll actually explode if you get hit by fire, but... I mean, you can try. It'll be fun.
Usually it
There's
does,
a guy with
but it
flaming
doesn't
arrows
last
out
very
there.
long, so at this point it probably won't last. Those games usually have that mechanic. I kind of want to see what a, sneak attack with this is. And that seems like a good guy to sneak attack, considering the fact that he'd probably murder me if I don't. No, he's coming this way, he's coming this way, he's coming this way. You can't see me. It's fine, I'm John Cena.
I do love that meme of people saying they can't see Cena. It's so hilarious.
Speaking of which, have you watched Peacemaker?
Yeah.
You planning to?
I had to be convinced to watch the fucking Marvel stuff. I'm not watching DC.
That's fair. But it's got John Cena in it.
I appreciate that, and I'm glad.
Okay, Mill.
Yeah. Yeah, there are hook claws in this place. Yeah.
Magic claws or Wolverine claws?
Up to you.
Oh, they've got a different. Oh, is it a different moveset? No, it's a slightly different moveset. Oh, it comes. They have the unblockable attack. These probably have bleed on them, don't they? Yeah, they have bleed. Okay. Time to bleed some boys. I'm not discriminatory when it comes to murder.
And non-binary pals. I remember them. They deserve to be murdered just as much as everybody else.
There is, in fact, an entire Technicolor rainbow. See, that's what would have happened if I'd, There you go. See, now they've blown it up so they can't blow me up. How silly of them.
I wanted them to blow you up as well.
You can't always get what you want.
Well, they can only set you on fire.
If that. Okay, fine. That was for you, Mel. Wow, that would have one-shot me if I hadn't maxed out my health.
Yay!
Very fun. Butterflies in the... Well, I guess it's not really funny. Logical conclusion.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Did you know that in the lore of Bloodborne, they're so obsessed with the blood that in Bloodborne, sex workers don't sell sex, they sell their blood.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. One of the NPCs, you can...
Congrats.
So yeah, one of the NPCs you can rescue to your base is, in fact, a sex worker who, like, heavily implies that she doesn't actually bang any of her clients. She just gives them her blood. And, like, they get off on that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Bloodborne is basically a game. Is, funnily enough, it's werewolves versus vampires. In which you play the vampire. God, I miss when games were a little bit more just, you know, bat crap crazy. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot less.
Yeah.
Like a lot of games take themselves too seriously now. I feel like. That wasn't even my fault. They were just bad at aiming. Okay, not that
I
time.
still got blown up. Yeah,
To be fair, he
still
did
got
blow
blown
up his friend as well as me.
No honor amongst these things.
What are these things?
Not a clue. You'd have a better idea than me.
I have no idea. You'd have to ask Firm. You think he would mind being called Firm?
Probably not.
I
Oh
just,
yeah,
like,
that reminds me. Did you see that Sanderson's shared Will White's Kickstarter announcement video?
That was pretty hype, yes. So, I have some words on Sanderson.
Oh.
I don't think they're appropriate. Well, not appropriate. It's just it's more of a personal hot take sort of situation. So it's
Okay, you can tell me after the stream.
yeah,
then.
yeah. But that is pretty hype. Have you backed the Kickstarter?
I've backed the Will White one.
Yes, that's what I'm talking. Of
Yeah,
course
I did.
that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I caved on that one and got all $3.
Is it still going? I haven't had a chance
Yeah.
to back it yet. Okay, yeah, I'll probably back it as well.
9 more days. 9 more days.
Yeah, because
I mean,
like
it's already at $500,000.
it hit the goal like literally hours after it was made.
goal. Yeah, it hit the initial goal like immediately.
I feel
and then
like-
they had to scramble for stretch goals.
I feel like Will White occasionally undersells
I mean,
the popularity or this like the dedication to his channel.
Like I feel like it's like very relatable in that he feels like the type of guy who really doesn't like understand just how big his fucking audience is and how dedicated it is.
It's the dedication more than the size, really, that plays a big part in this.
Because here's the thing, like I did some calculations a little while ago. Well, not even a little while ago, earlier today.
Did he just
just
send me
after-
down a dead end?
Yes.
God damn it!
Full of guards and explosives. Yeah, I did a calculation earlier today when it hit 500k. So with the amount of backers he has, there is an average of 130 put forward by each backer.
God damn!
Yeah.
You know what I want to back it for though?
What?
The Zoom call.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like we should probably make time for that, huh?
And I definitely will.
Can I even get back to? You know what? I'm just gonna fast travel. I don't care. He's not even there anymore, is he? He's probably just like laughing.
No, I'm fairly sure he is still there.
I'm very tempted to murder him, but if he is like Patches, then oh, you know what? You can't parry, can you? If he's like Patches, he'll give me some compensation and become a merchant who sells decent stuff.
If only it turns out. Perhaps you.
So yeah, so the most recent stretch goal that's been unlocked for the Kickstarter is spoiler scenes.
Oh no! I want.
So in terms like scenes set during the first 3 books that would that have like that reveal or have information from like that only got revealed in like
pretty
Reaper.
hot.
Yeah.
Or when you approach the gate, it's only.
So you know we are gonna get a scene involving a certain character.
Yep, Little Blue.
Yep, obviously.
I'm sorry, guys, spoilers, but Little Blue was Osriel the whole time. I don't know how to break it to you.
I fucking loved that blooper. That was such a fucking funny blooper. And we're getting blooper for the first, like, what was it, $3 or $4? I think it's just first 3.
Yeah, because he started the bloopers.
Blooper started in Skysworn, I think.
Yeah, no, Ghostwater.
Oh, Ghostwater.
Yes, the first 4. Well, the first 3 books are definitely getting bloopers, and then probably when books are also going to have bloopers.
Yeah.
Is that a shotgun ballista thing?
Probably.
Serpentine. You know what? Summon my mans is good. You know, no, it's fine. I'll go inside. Indoors. Oh, there's. Man, they're really like generous with the bonfires in this game.
Yeah.
It used to be that like you have to walk through like an entire. Back in my day, we'd have to walk 65 kilometers one way per bonfire. Now they're just giving you grass to touch all over the place.
But you want to know what's even better about the Kickstarter?
What?
Somebody left a comment about a potential TTRPG, and the guy running the Kickstarter for Will said he'd send the idea to the Hidden Gnome team.
Honestly, at this point, I feel like if he kickstarted a game, it would probably hit the goal, right? Would you like to see like a proper spectacle fighter set in Cradle?
And as I said, this is a. They were talking about a tabletop game, so like.
Oh, hello.
D&D Pathfinder type thing. Yeah, this guy is also a merchant.
Yes, that's why I didn't kill him, because the patches equivalent usually gets like some good gear later in the game to sell you. How many ballista do they have? Well, I am charging a castle to the main gate. Oh, there's friendly fire for the ballista. That's great news.
There's friendly fire on a lot of stuff.
Don't throw firebombs at me. Posturing? Ah, who are you? Where did you come from? Backstab with the fists isn't as satisfying as I feel like it should be. Drop your sword. Drop your oh, he dropped. Smoldering butterfly and mushroom sounds like mid-2000s anime title. Oh, you remember like in the mid-2000s anime had like very I'm just gonna say it, pretentious titles.
I mean, no, because I wasn't really an anime fan in the mid-2000s.
Yeah, but like, you're at least aware that they existed, right?
Sort of.
No, like now.
Sort of.
Also, I get ballista bolts. Does that mean I can like just have a portable ballista? Because that would be pretty cool. Hey, I think you're like my dude. Not like this.
You can destroy the ballistas, I'm fairly sure.
Why would I? They can do friendly fire. Where are they all coming from? How far is their aggro radius? Oh, I also also practice parry timings, huh?
Did anyone blow a horn? Because that might be what's happening.
No! I specifically avoided that!
Don't know then. Guess you just give off some kind of musk.
I mean...
Also, you should probably heal.
Nah, it'll be fine. Oh, these aren't just these aren't even ballista. They're just crossbowmen. I'm sorry. Did I hear a dragon? Oh, that's not. What is that? Oh no, Bill, it's a furry. No, it's a lion with a sword. Never mind. Is now also stuck on a pillar. Oh, that's cheesy. Ah! No longer stuck on a pillar. That's now I can follow. Who gave that lion a sword?
Smart person.
How did that lion learn how to use it? Cats are famously not very trained.
Yeah, but they'll do anything to increase their killing potential.
That is a very good point, Element. You know what? Fight my imps! Ah, Mill, they're not just standing there and letting me finish my transformation. How rude of them.
Yeah, because this isn't fucking anime.
Okay, here's a question. Is Dark Souls anime?
I would say no.
Really makes you think, huh? Alright, time to go try hard mode. By which I mean immediately get chopped twice in a row by a shotgun ballista. Thing.
You should have destroyed the blisters.
They would have respawned.
You don't know that.
I've played every other Souls game. Pretty sure I know that.
You don't know until you try.
Hi. Turns out. Stand still and cast, huh? See, this is.
Awesome.
I finally hit the point now where over leveling doesn't do anything anymore. Except, you know, sure I don't die in one hit. You know what? You little lion piece of garbage. Just for that, I'm gonna kill you with my stick.
Also, do blocking anybody who talks about Attack on Titan on my where I can see them on Twitter.
What?
I block anybody who talks about Attack on Titan. Because why should I have to see that?
Yeah, no, that's perfectly understandable. I feel.
I was gonna say, why are you attacking with the staff when it literally does no damage?
Insult to injury.
Well, the injury will be yours if you aren't careful. By injury, I mean death.
I mean, for the Tarnished, it's like an injury, a death is basically just an injury.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking in terms of those four?
Yep.
I'm not sure if they do.
I'm bet you it's not gonna be all four. Or it's gonna like lull you into a false sense of security.
I don't 100% remember this room, so. But when I see that, I think one of these fuckers is coming alive.
Hmm?
Maybe it's too obvious.
Oh, What if they're lulling you into a false sense of security, and then the next time there's a room like this, they will come to life?
That seems likely.
Mill, should I hit them and see if they
we
come
really
to
did
life?
just. You can try. Also, we really did just create fucking Professor Crowler from GX.
In hindsight, yes. You think Crowler was jacked, though?
Probably not. I mean, wrist muscles, yes, but actually no, because Crowler didn't even have a proper like on the wrist.
Yeah, he
disc,
had like
they?
he had the thing on his chest as well.
Yeah, being a fucking lazy dick.
How do the cards stay on?
Don't know. I assume there's probably some like magnetism thing involved.
It's a very long castle. This is just Sen's fortress, huh? So,
Welcome to Stormvale Castle.
Out of curiosity, how Grant's the Souls veteran and Jesse is the complete newcomer, right? No?
Yeah.
So, how many comparisons to previous Souls games has Grant made over the course of his streams?
I don't think there's been that too many like outright comparisons, but he does mention them a lot.
Why do I hear boss music?
I assume there's a boss.
Oh my god, first talisman. Oh, lightning. Lightning resistance. Great. That's helpful and necessary.
I mean, it is if you're facing lightning damage.
If I'm facing lightning damage, I'm probably already dead. I will not like the look of this. An open field is your worst possible scenario in a Dark Souls game. There's gonna be a dragon on this bridge. I just know. Oh, some of these are gonna come to. Oh my. Some of these are absolutely gonna come to life.
Why don't you hit one and find out?
I am? Oh, well. Oh. Yeah, it turns out that was much more obvious than I figured it would be. Like their ankles with magic.
You missed all of those?
This spell has garbage range.
Unlike him. And that person.
Oh, they have friendly fire.
Not a massive amount, but yes.
No, they like they take as much damage as. See? Oh my god, he actually like broke his stance. Broke your friend's ankles, buddy.
Then you can't capitalize on it.
Look, that would require competence, and I have it. Oh wow, this ankles, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so the other guy breathes fire every time he starts, You can see why Glintstone Arc is probably the best spell in this game.
And yeah, that's the number 4 spell on the list. Glintstone Pebble is actually number 1, not number 2, sorry. Number 1 is Glintstone Stars.
Of course, stars. Oh wow! He didn't even hit me. Stop trying to hit me and hit me. I'm just running in a straight line. Okay, that arrow travels faster than I thought it would.
Yeah. The wonderful sound of furious button mashing.
Sometimes you just gotta chug it.
You really need to figure out how to upgrade your flasks.
I wonder if they bleed.
I made of stone.
What does that have to do with anything? Oh, actually, I'm pretty sure they do bleed. I'm pretty sure I saw a bleed thing.
I don't think I did.
Drop the arrows, but not the bow. Very rude.
Yep, you need to get the bow somewhere else. There's nothing else here apart from the teleporter dealie.
Ah, yes, the Orlando. How am I supposed to fit in here? Pogdanoff is a bit too girthy for this.
Just examine.
I really wish there was an animation of you just, like, curling up into a ball and just, like, sort of rolling yourself into the gate. That would be hilarious.
But undignified. Pogdanoff is nothing but dignified.
Unless there's money involved, in which case, $20 is $20. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of birds, huh?
Hmm.
Let's not go in that direction, then. Well, I have some AoE. Well.
What a shame. So I just got reminded of it randomly. That Jujutsu Kaisen fic that I showed you is still probably actually one of my favorite fics of all time, because it is so hilariously in character.
Oh, I do remember that. That was good. The shame it was a one-shot.
Yeah.
But I suppose that would be harder to keep up. Like, keeping it in character would be harder.
100%. Yeah. 100%. Unlike comedy fics are always a lot harder to keep going for a long period of time. And especially in a world like fucking Jujutsu Kaisen.
Why has my horse abandoned me? I'm very upset with this. I also have no idea where to go. Do you think I can survive that fall?
Probably not. There should be another, like, teleport thing somewhere. Or maybe you can survive that fall. I don't remember. I know Grant's been here, but I don't remember. It was like a while ago. Fairly sure it was before he beat Margit, or maybe just after.
How do you even get here? Oh yeah, no, just after. Because like, I don't think you can get here without beating Margit.
Okay, yeah, definitely after beating Margit then, but that was still a while ago. Even if Grant did take most of, like, 13 hours to actually beat him.
I think I'm gonna have to jump. Also, I'm very upset that you can't bone home.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Also, when I was last talking to you about Neo, where was I?
Oh god, I'm assuming you're not talking about the quick step versus dodge roll. Oh, there's probably an interaction here. No? Looked like a button that I could press.
No. I do think you just have to fall and hope for the best.
Leap of faith type situation, huh? Just to take a running start, and... Nope. Should perhaps
yeah, you
not
didn't
be
even
here.
make it halfway across. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be there yet. Okay, so I'll just go through what I remember doing last in terms of Neo. I managed to eventually beat that boss rush mission with the 4 bosses.
Which 4 bosses is it?
It is in order. It's the Ogress, Yorogumo, Hinoenma, and then the
Is it really? I
Epilogue
don't
boss.
think it's pronounced like that.
Hinoenma?
No, the spider lady.
Yorogumo? Jorogumo?
Yeah, is it not just a J? I don't think freaking bite your ankles.
Yeah, it probably is Jorogumo.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Right in the crotch.
Yeah, so Jorogumo, Hinoenma, and then the boss. No spoil.
They're like...
Also, I'd like to point out that I was in fact correct that fucking Ogress isn't as hard in a bigger area.
Yeah, it's like that's one of the fundamental rules of Souls-likes is if a boss is very hard, there's a chance it's just because of the boss.
So I managed to do that, and then I managed to cheese my way through the
Yeah, so I'm
facing,
pretty sure these guys do bleed because that's the only way to explain why they die so quickly or so slowly with everything except the claws.
It'd be weird considering the next stone, but yeah. Sure, I guess.
I mean, bleeding doesn't have to mean you're losing blood, right? Like, bleeding can involve other fluids. If you know what I'm saying.
Does being made of stone have those other fluids?
They have magma. Right? They've got the whole molten... Okay, that pillar really should have blocked that. Either that or broken. Well, let's, like, take a look at the... Oh, there you go. This one just has less armor. It's an archer, I guess.
I think it's just because he hit like a critical spot on its ankles.
I was hitting the ankles of the other guys, too.
Yeah, and you were doing the same amount of damage.
They were dying so much slower.
Yeah, because they do have more health. There is probably not anywhere to jump down here.
But then there's an item here, though.
Ah, then there is. But have fun getting back up. You'll have to Skyrim your way back up, most likely.
Well, that seems important. Is that a talisman? No. Okay.
So yeah, so I beat the boss rush, and then I beat the 2-on-1 fight with the two fucking, like, the warrior of the east and the warrior of the west guys.
They would double team you, wouldn't they?
I did have to use living weapon to stay alive at one point, though.
I mean, that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
Like, living weapon is really not worth too good to use syndrome, especially since you can get it back just by like popping a few soul shards.
See, I didn't know that until this point.
Well, someone
Which
should have read
seems
the wiki.
dumb. Which seems dumb, but I didn't know. I genuinely didn't know that you could just use souls to get it back. Or popping, like, the Amrita things.
Let's
like
be real,
soul
they're
stones.
all souls.
I know they're all souls, but I want to try and keep using the terminology, just so I don't confuse myself.
Mill, have you considered the fact that the reason you like Neo more than the Souls games is because Neo is a weeb game and the Souls games aren't?
That's definitely a possibility. I just feel like the combat is a lot more fluid in Neo. I think that's the big difference.
True, it is.
I feel like
It does lean more in the spectacle fighter direction.
I feel like there's a lot. It's a lot easier to get into a rhythm in Neo than it is in Souls games.
So, like, where am I supposed to go here?
Go back. Well, this is definitely a path, but you just haven't unlocked that giant fucking door yet.
Like, what am I even supposed to do to unlock that door? That's my question.
Not sure. What was it called again?
Library of the Divine Tower of Limgrave.
Oh yeah, that place.
Like, they're not gonna just, like, teleport to here. Oh, is there, like, a side path I can take somewhere?
Oh, you need to have beaten the first proper boss.
That wasn't Margit?
Margit is technically optional, because you don't have to go through Stormvale Castle.
Huh. So do I just have to die here?
I think so.
In hindsight, that's
Really intense for you to, you know, go there when you've actually unlocked the door.
Did they not guess that I would be so good that I don't even have to beat the first boss to get here?
I think you just went the wrong way. Because apparently this boss isn't Stormvale Castle.
Oh! Well then. Where's a double jump when you need it? This would be so much easier to manage with my horse. You know, why am I hesitating? I don't need runes. Let's you know what? If it's in Stormvale Castle, then I'll try and at least find the boss.
Yeah.
And then we can end it there.
I do want you to try and fight him at least once before the stream ends.
So Stormhill is the wrong.
Probably, yeah. You need to be in Stormvale Castle. Is that some? That's where I think he is.
This is where I fought the lion and stuff. So just for ease of exploration, I'm gonna summon my dudes. We can my fang imps can murder people while I pick flowers.
So yeah, so he's apparently at the end of Stormvale Castle.
I think I just took a side path by accident then.
Yeah, probably.
Ah, yes, this seems like the correct path.
Based on the amount of people, yes, probably.
I guess they compensate for the fact that it's harder to get the spells by just better spells early. You go in. Like, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, you're moving out of the summon area. You stopped reading World Trigger after a while, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I stopped it around like the tournament arc to decide who goes to the on this ship. That was enough. That wasn't a fever dream that actually happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I didn't like. I stopped. I think the last chapter I read was when the sniper lady was like, "I don't want to hurt people, so I'm just going to make them die of suffocation instead by making them extremely heavy."
Okay, so you're about the middle of the B rank wars arc.
No, it was like at the point where she like just was training that. She hadn't actually
Yeah,
like.
That's still in the middle of it. That's around the middle of the B rank wars arc. Yeah. It was a very long arc.
Yeah, I think I just like got a little bit of like it's a good series. It's like it's a good series, and it also stars Ida for some reason. It's just two things. First of all, there's no way it's gonna have a happy ending. Oh, someone's blowing a horn. And secondly, oh god. Oh, by the way, has Grant reached Miyazaki's Poison Swamp yet?
He has been in a few poison swamps, yeah.
Oh god. I was joking, I didn't know for sure, but like, look.
Well, there's...
Miyazaki has a fetish for poison swamps.
Yes. There is at least one poison swamp, yes, but there's also a scarlet rot swamp.
Ah, so he's figured out a way to make the poison swamp even worse.
Yeah, there's also a couple of there's also like a poison dungeon, scarlet rot dungeon as well. So have fun with those.
Truly, nothing if not innovative. I think I might die here.
You're being dumb and not just running through. Actually fighting people.
Oh no, it's the painted world of... Oh, never mind. I thought I was gonna go into the... Also, famous Miyazaki-ism. My man's loves paintings that you can go inside.
Yeah, at the very least, I want you to see this this boss's face too. It is pretty good.
I can't make any guarantees about this. I can see his face, but maybe not his face, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, do your best.
Oh, good. I think. Oh, oh, thank God, there's a bonfire. I have to touch some grass.
I think if you go through the door on the left, that might take you to the boss.
Hit the lever.
Might. I'm not guaranteeing anything.
Is Onion Bro going to come up here now? Oh, never mind.
No onion, bro, as far as I know.
Miyazaki, how could you? Why can I not pick up these ballista bolts? Does not open from this side, huh?
Nope. Gotta get on the left. Yeah, I think this takes you to the boss. I'm not 100% sure.
First we got a barrel roll through the barrels.
Like, I'm not always paying 100% attention when Grant's playing.
Well, that's
Mostly
perfectly
just, you know, I'm soothed by his voice.
He does have a nice voice.
Like, I found I do actually really prefer the really chill streamers.
No, that's absolutely that. Hot brothers. Hello, friends. Oh. Oh. Obviously not my friend.
Nope. But yeah, out of like the TFS crew, my favorite streamers are like Grant, Jesse, and Kaiser.
I've not watched. You know what I miss, and I think I am alone in this. Yes,
Go on.
love adventure, go.
Oh yeah. Look, it was driving Zito insane.
Yeah, but then like Zito, after Zito quit, then Gaijin Goomba came on.
Yeah, but then Taka had to become a VTuber.
Since when has there been a law stating that VTubers can't play trash visual novels?
There isn't a law, but you know, it's makes it awkward when the other person isn't also a VTuber. And Gaijin isn't.
I mean, Gaijin was kind of a VTuber before it was cool, if you know, like, 'cause he had that like full Goomba avatar, so I mean, technically you could say that Gaijin was doing it before Taka did.
Yeah. Look, maybe they just got sick of it as well, because
look,
you
no,
know,
that's
those
the more sensible option,
health.
yes. That makes 100% more sense, but like, it was great entertainment value. What's Kaiser been playing recently? Oh no. Why do I hear boss music?
Well, because this is the boss. I mean, that's sort of the issue with being a fan of Kaiser streams. He doesn't actually stream that often.
That is a fair point. Loved his Bugsnax.
Mighty dragon.
Yeah, Bugsnax was a lot of fun. I'm gonna go back and rewatch his Hollow Knight stuff as well.
Kindred, deliver me unto greater heights.
That's just like a few too many fingers.
Well,
That's just like... Hello, Margit.
No, not Margit. Also, if you think that's a few too many fingers, oh boy, you have not seen.
playing as a lord,
Oh, this is the boss from the
basically.
trailer.
I command thee.
Yeah, this is Godric.
I am the lord of all that is.
I thought
gonna kneel?
this guy's name was Margit.
No. Margit was the guy who fought and killed him like 2 times.
Oh no, he can dodge roll.
Yep. Honestly, I think he will hit phase 2 because he does hit phase 2 fairly early on.
Yummy! Oh, I damage. Ha! Management's because he's fat rolling. Unlike who is always light rolling. Oh, I'm assuming this is phase 2.
Yeah.
Oh, he's chopping off his own arm. Oh, he's got some lungs on him, huh? Wow, this looks so bad on low. I'm so sorry to the audience. My computer just can't handle anything better.
Truest of dragons. Lend me thy strength.
So we're just like gonna watch and let this happen, huh?
Yep.
This is definitely a George R. R. Martin character.
So yeah, phase 2, he gets a fucking dragon arm.
Yeah! Like, I had an inkling that something like this would happen.
This is why I wanted you to see phase 3.
It's fine. Oh, now meteor! How do you feel about the competitive Pokemon scene?
I feel nothing for it. So I don't really care about the competitive Pokemon scene.
Well, no, like, how do you feel about its existence?
Yeah, fine. Have it. Yeah.
How do you feel about Pokemon in general?
I just like, it was never really my thing. Like, I was always more into Yugioh as a kid.
I forgot I have to step on the claws. I just spam quick step. Oh, never mind. It takes stamina. I thought quick step only took SP, and that's why it was good. How is it any better than just dodging? Oh, he bled. He bled.
Because most people probably, like, don't have,
Well, I don't have infinite. I just have 99. You could get 99. I'm sure there's ways to, like, a million.
Godfrey, didst thou witness?
hey, you didn't actually die. I'm glad you didn't beat him first time.
Look, I put this, like, I was very upfront about this from the beginning. You can't beat a Souls game with just raw stats. You just can't. I've tried. It doesn't work. If the stats give you a slight advantage in the beginning, yes. But it's no different than, like, having a slightly easier, like, easy mode on the difficulty slider. The stats aren't enough.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
yes.
know, but I mean, you did still nearly get there.
Yeah, but, like, this is the first real boss of the game. It's going to get much harder.
Oh
Yes.
no, Kaiser's made another fucking shitpost, I think.
Oh, I love it. Yes, so anyway, thank you all for joining us today. We've done a long boy today. Ugh.
Yeah, you've been going for 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm gonna just, like, lay down and die now. But, thank you everyone for joining us. Mill, would you like to...
So, future stuff. Thursday, more Ace Attorney. We are nearing the end of Case 2. And after that, we get to go on to Case 3, which is apparently one of the worst. Saturday, Paradox Hour will be in honor of, I think St. Patrick's Day is like close by. Isn't it?
It's the 17th, I think.
When is St. Patrick's Day?
Thursday.
Close enough. 17th of March, yeah. So, yeah, Thursday. So, close enough. In honor of that, we're doing Jack and Dylan will be drunk. Fuzzy and I will be staying sober because we don't like to drink, and we need somebody sober to be in charge of it.
Yeah, well, Milla's going to be in charge. I've proven time and time again that I do not need to imbibe substances to be a menace to society.
But regardless, we will be discussing One Piece theories while under the influence, let's say. Because that still counts in what you are, Fuzzy. Yeah, the most recent chapter really gave us a lot of fodder to go off of as well. Sunday, more D&D. We are in Ternoyama. And then Tuesday, two of us probably will be back. Either doing more of this or doing more of something else.
So yeah, that's gonna be fun. And thank you everyone for joining us, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Good night.